Now I'm going to show you how to fabricate an end cap out of the actual trunking material as opposed to going out and buying one or using a piece of trunking lid. When working with trunking, it's very important to remember that you do not cut to the edge of the trunking here. You need to cut to the beginning of the actual fold. And if you remember, as the trunking folds around, you will find that if you hold the trunking up to the light, you see a white line reflecting all the way down it, and that's the beginning of the actual bend. That is the point that you are physically going to be marking to, and I have marked mine already there. The first thing I'm going to do to be able to fabricate the end cap is that I'm going to mark it from the white line that I showed you earlier. From the corner, I'm going to mark upwards. I then will mark from this straight down, and I will take this mark all the way around. And what I need to do, now I've drawn all the way around it, I now need to run a line up like I did the other side. There we are. Now what I've got to do, I've got to cut this section off and this section off, and I will mark those up to indicate that they're going. That's including the lip. But I also need to cut down this line here, and obviously then cut down this line here. Remember, we keep this line, and I've put crosses on there to indicate we don't cut through it in any way, shape or form. That's our hinge, because the idea is we're going to rotate that into it. Obviously, we get our block of timber, place this into our workbench. We're going to cut through this line here. Cut that completely off. Rotate this around. And come around this side, and I'm going to cut through the line again. And now I cut down this line. I'm going to take the trunking one more time, and this time I'm going to turn it around so you can see clearly what I'm doing. That's what I like about these workbenches. They are very versatile, you don't have to stay in one place. Now I've cut through the lines, I'm going to take the block of wood out. And what I'm going to do now is obviously file the edges. I'm going to squeeze these two sides in, and then I'm going to fold the actual lip up. I will put the block of wood in here for one reason, so that when I've done this, I'll be able to drill and pop rivet the actual parts. So just squeeze them in a little bit, that's it, not too much if you can help it. Just squeeze up and over, and there we have it. We've already started making our end cap. Let's squeeze that down as much as we can. And what we need to do now is just bend out the two pieces that we've folded over. Move our block of wood up. do the same with the other side. And the idea now is that we pot rivet the actual items on. Remember, this is an end cap. Unlike the T, where we have to make sure we have a mechanical and electrical joint, and we shouldn't use pot rivets for every single point. This one, we can put one here and one here, just to pull the actual lip in so that it looks neat and professional at the end of the day. Squeeze that in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill at these 2 points and pot rivet it. Remember, this is an end cap. The odds of any cables actually going to this point here is very small, so we can actually put the pot rivets in like this. If you needed to and you were running cables at this point, what you may have to consider is maybe use nuts and bolts, but put them so that obviously they don't impede the way of the actual cables or damage them. And there we have it. One end cap. I've just got to repeat the process for the other side.
So there we are. We've seen some of the requirements of the wiring regulations with regard to the installation of a steel trunking system.
We've also seen the practical skills required to prepare and install such a system.
See you soon.
See ya.